confused, like you didn't know what to do exactly. Right?
Shut up. I tell you otherwise, but I think we might be lying.
Yeah, I think you might be lying.
My brother sent me an article saying how there's a marshmallow caramel churro one that
I saw that, yeah.
He was like, Tina! And then he also tagged our friend Jackie, who lives down in Florida.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to go back, but also this is Disneyland.
Yep.
And we went to Disney World. He goes, same thing. And like, me and Jackie are like, no. No.
Oh, who all is coming to the room Friday night?
Yeah.
Not us.
You guys are lame.
We got plans.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, your plans are you going to the room?
All right, we're live. Let's
Probably
this
sold
thing.
out now. Anyway.
It is sold out.
Yeah,
now.
it's all out.
Here we go. You guys ready?
Yep.
On this episode of the Culture Smash Cast,
Netflix teams up with Nickelodeon to fend off the mouse.
Oh my gosh, Disney Plus!
They might never cross the streams, but they are passing the torch.
Finally.
yeah, that's
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
That's
All right. Okay. It's a Culture Smash Cast, episode 506 for November the 13th, 2019. I'm Stephen Lackey, editor of CultureSmash.tv.
Nicholas Qualls, contributor to Culturesmash.tv.
Tina Heimbach, contributor to Culturesmash.tv, if Steven ever puts my graphs up.
Oh, do you want me to post those?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll post them. I'll do it. Is that
Editorial behind the scenes.
I'm Zach Martin. I'm here.
well, I don't know if we're happy about that. It remains to be seen. We'll see. We'll make that judgment call toward the end of the show.
Fine.
So, what did you guys do over the weekend? Anything?
Sleep.
Sick.
Yeah, you
Tina
were
was
sick.
sick.
I was conscious maybe 4 hours on Saturday.
So
All right, then.
I got back into Dead by Daylight.
Yeah?
They pulled me back in.
They pulled you back in.
So they have made a lot of fixes, and boy, that game sure is still broke, but it is really addictive.
All right. I thought I did something, but I don't remember.
Oh,
Yeah.
I went
Saw Dr. Sleep.
I saw Dr. Sleep. as
I
well.
did see that.
Yeah, we'll get to that
We
one.
did not, so that will be a later discussion.
Okay. All right, well, let's just get on with it then. Let's get into the movies.
Yes.
You want to do them?
Here, switch this page with me. It has the budget, so you can just read it.
Okay.
Yep.
Here you go. So at number 10 is The Addams Family. It made another $4.1 million, which makes its total $91.4 million with a budget of $40 million.
That's pretty good.
That's actually really good for them.
That sounds like your video game voice.
All
budget
of
of $40 million.
All of our budgets are being sourced via Wikipedia because
Yes.
Box Office Mojo sucks at the
Please
layout. So
change your layout.
We know you're
Yeah.
listening, Box Office Mojo, as regular
true.
listeners to this podcast.
Absolutely. Yep.
And number 9 is Zombieland Double Tap. This movie needs to just go ahead and double tap out.
That's good. I gotta respect that one.
Yep.
It made another $4.3 million over the weekend. That brought its total up to, I kid you not, $66.6 million.
What? That's hilarious.
The
What are
budget.
the odds?
Yeah, the
Gotta
budget.
stop now. No one see that movie anymore.
It has to stop.
So the budget for that is estimated between $42 to $48 million. So yeah, we'll be getting a Zombieland 3.
No, I don't
about
think so.
that.
Number 4 is
Hope not.
Harriet, which grossed $7.4 million. The total so far that it has made is $23.6 million, which is pretty good considering it's a $17 million movie.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a sequel.
Yep.
They just call it the Underground Railroad, right?
Exactly. That would be the sequel.
Number 7 is Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. That one made $8.4 million, which brings its total up to $97.7. That one was made with 185, according to Wikipedia.
Oh my god.
You know,
Angelina Jolie gotta have gold on them frosted flakes, telling you.
I'm betting.
Did you say don't he?
No.
No.
Oh.
I said Angelina gotta have
Gold on those
Them
frosted
frosted
flakes.
flakes.
And then I thought you ended it with don't he. And I'm like,
I
Don't
tell
you?
you. I told you.
I tell you.
I'm betting there'll still be a third one.
I don't
bet.
think so.
I don't know. They kind of wrapped this one up.
Did they?
I think they could make a new one just because they could always make a new one.
Yeah.
But
But with $185 million supposed budget and it only making 97.7 right now.
No, we have to look at the global.
Yeah.
well,
that's
it's
true.
global and also like merchandising.
Merchandising.
Because
Yeah.
it's a Disney movie.
Worldwide total is 434.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a lot of money.
So Number 6 is Joker. It made $9.2 million this weekend, which brings its total up to $313.5 million.
Wow.
With the budget being $55 to $70 million.
I think I read that this is technically the most profitable
R-rated
comic book
movie. Yeah, most profitable R-rated movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just based off the
Yeah.
budget. Yeah.
Like the budget to like pure profit they got out of it. Yeah.
Number 5 is Terminator Dark Fate. $10.8 million this weekend, which brings its total to $48.4
Wow.
on
Bombing.
Holy crap! It dropped to 5th place this week. It was
Yeah.
at 1st place last week.
Yeah, but everything else in front of it is new.
yeah.
Yeah.
185 to 196 million budget right there.
So worldwide, this has grossed $202 million.
Wow.
Paramount, what are you doing,
I
baby?
mean, at least it's got its budget worldwide.
Well, and this is the thing you have to
I'm
remember.
sorry, is there marketing?
It's not even Paramount at this point. Paramount, they made money because all they did was distribute. It was Skydance
Yeah.
that you got to question.
man.
Skydance is the one who keeps making the films.
I don't know. But the weird thing is, everyone I'm talking, I still haven't seen it. I want to try this
We're
weekend.
catching
I
up
liked
this
it.
But yeah,
weekend.
everyone is like
I
that.
liked it.
Everyone I've talked to likes it.
It's because the previous two were so bad, it's been
Yeah.
tainted.
Yeah, it was. You
Excuse
get
me,
burned.
previous 3.
I don't think the third one is that bad.
It's subpar, then we got really bad.
It is
then we got
subpar.
awful.
But it's subpar. But the last two, the last two,
The last 2 killed it.
yeah. Continue.
Speaking of last,
Yeah.
number 4 is Last Christmas.
Yeah.
It's not even December yet, or even past Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's perfect timing.
So since it's new, the
Who also
total,
stars one of the stars of the last Terminator movie.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
true.
But since it's new this weekend, its total and thus cumulative is $11.4 million.
Oh, this is one of my
budget-
movies.
Yeah, budget for that was 25 to 30 million estimated.
It's a hokey holiday film.
It's a hokey holiday
Yeah.
film. I'll still get the
Yeah, but
Thanksgiving
it's a
week. That's all
Paul
that matters.
Feig film.
No one cares like
No
hates-
one is-
has the hate of
No
him
one's
like you do.
Yeah, no one's going to go into this movie because
Feel my hatred, listeners.
I mean, I don't have love for him either.
It gives me focus.
They
makes
tu-
me strong.
they tune you out actually.
All right.
gives
You,
you
you
purpose.
actually have been on mute this entire time.
Exactly.
They think you're a figment of our imagination at this point. All right, number 3 is Playing with Fire. Speaking of what I wish were figments of my imagination, this movie looks so bad.
Yeah,
It's
it
really
does look
bad.
bad.
Yeah.
$12.7 million so far, 29.9 budget.
Okay.
So,
right.
number 2 is Doctor Sleep. $14.1 million on a $45 to $55 million budget.
That's not too bad for a budget.
No,
that's
for-
a
Yeah, no, it's not bad at all.
And then number 1 is
It's underperforming
Midway.
now.
$17.8 million so far, with the budget being around $100 million.
It was a crowded weekend.
It was.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about how Midway outperformed Doctor Sleep.
Oh, a PG-13 2-hour film outgrossed a R-rated 2-hour 32-minute film.
Yeah, and
Shocking.
also Midway's a little more seasonal.
Yeah, I think Midway's a little more seasonal. Doctor Sleep should have came out a month ago.
Yeah.
Or at least 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
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 But still, everyone I talked to some people who have seen Midway, and they say it's okay.
It's a Roland Emmerich, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but nobody
So-
cares as much as you, though.
That's true.
But I hate,
No,
I hate
the audience,
visual style.
the audience for Midway will not care.
There is
Yeah.
no way.
It's so
You
CGI.
can, even if the film
looks like a
was
cartoon.
good, it's that shiny,
Stop
clean,
tapping.
Yeah.
It's that shiny, clean look.
Cheap CG.
It's not even that. Like, if they could just make their sets, like we were just talking about with Mandalorian, to where it feels lived in. There are scenes where they're like in planes and on ships, and I'm like, it looks spotless.
Yeah, it looks brand new.
And
it
I
looks so cartoony.
hate that.
Yeah.
But that's Roland Emmerich style. That's the way since Independence Day. Yeah, what was the 2012 or whatever the heck?
2012?
2012.
Yeah.
That movie looked the same, and it was like an alien thing, and like even
No,
though
it was just
No,
the
that
world
was the
collapse.
a
world-
world collapse thing, but everything looked like that.
Well, I
It was
guess that
destruction
Shakespeare
board.
movie I missed had that too.
I didn't see that.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
That was still Roland Emmerich.
Now, what is interesting is I've been seeing a lot of behind the scenes stuff for the movie that you spent your money on in the film ball.
1917.
Yeah. Have you guys seen this? That's showing in the theaters right now. The behind the scenes of that.
No.
No.
So the concept is, it's supposed to be shot in the entire thing.
Yeah,
is a single,
I knew that. Yeah.
Simulated single
It's
take.
obviously not. I mean, they just cover it with CG and whatever, but they do some really long takes, and to watch the camera guys.
Yeah.
There's a scene in that movie where a character is running, and you don't get CG explosions. They're real because you see it in the behind the scenes. They're blowing up behind him, and the camera guy is running with the two of them holding the camera, running behind him, and then they step up onto the back of a Jeep, continue filming, and step back off of it. I'm like, I gotta see that.
Yeah.
I gotta see that.
No, like,
because
Yeah, 1917.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Of course, it's not all one continuous shot, but
the
they
takes
are
are
doing
really long.
They're doing it as much in single shots as they can, and they're accounting for things like, oh crap, we can't shoot today because the weather's different.
Right.
You know?
Well, they
The
say
lighting
that.
is different.
Yeah. Well, they stand there and wait because they're shooting in continuity for the clouds to cover the sun again, so
Yeah.
it looks the same as the previous shot.
That would be torture.
I just can't wait to see that movie. I'm so
Roger
excited
Deakins
for it.
cinematography.
Right?
I mean, it's just like, you had me there. It's like Roger Deakins doing cinematography. Okay.
But since that movie got pushed out of Zach's film ball game, what is happening in film ball? Do you want to share that with us?
Sure thing.
Yeah.
So in film ball,
Perfect transition.
It's good.
So in film ball, the rankings are as follows. Stephen, you're making sure nobody falls behind.
Right?
With your 5.2 million.
Hey, somebody's got to be the caboose.
It's true.
I'm right there with you with my 6.5 million.
Hey, last Christmas on Thanksgiving weekend. That's it, baby.
Yeah, but one of my second ones just came out, so
Yep.
I had Dr. Sleep, so we'll see.
Oh, yeah, you're going to do it.
5, Zach, so you're sitting at $95.5 million.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Number 4 is Sarah with $99.9 million.
Yep.
Nathan is number 3 with $200.6 million.
That may be the biggest cut of all for me.
Nathan
Nathan being ahead of me? Yeah.
Nico's at number 2 with 231.3, but Hector sits way above us with $351.5 million.
With all the bottom feeder movies still coming that he has.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to be a tough one to beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it won't be me. I will not.
Isn't Frozen 2 coming pretty quick?
Frozen 2 is
It's
coming.
Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be Nathan's big movie.
Yeah. Well, it's the weekend before Thanksgiving. It's the 22nd.
But it's still going to make its money
Yeah.
on Thanksgiving weekend for sure.
So coming out next weekend is Ford versus Ferrari and Charlie's Angels. So we'll see how that goes.
Exactly.
But as far as insights, right now the biggest bang for your buck is still Joker with the 9.5 per dollar bid.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, Terminator Dark Fate has been earning Sarah $1.7 million for every dollar that she spent on it.
All right.
Let's see, what else came out was...
Dr. Sleep?
Dr. Sleep will be on next week's.
Oh, that's right.
because
Yeah,
it's a full
it's
week.
brand new. Yeah.
Yep. But, yeah, and you're still sitting there... No, actually, Jexy has only earned me $211 for every dollar that I spent on it, as opposed to your $229,000 for Goldfinch.
For Goldfinch, yeah.
So,
Wow.
but and I say those because those two are pretty much done. But if we're just talking right now, Arctic Dog is only earning Nathan $107,000 per every dollar. he spent.
Wow.
So we'll see how this goes.
It's a good game. All right, so opening this weekend, as you just said, Ford versus Ferrari. It's at 89% of Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm happy to see this because the movie looks cool. It's got a good cast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to see it too.
The initial word I heard was just meh, though.
Yeah, I heard
But
that.
89.
But to see 89%, I'll see it for that.
Yeah,
Charlie's
6 out of 10. That's a positive review on Rotten Tomatoes, right?
I know. Well, I mean, 89% is Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, and if you get 89 people out of 100 that gave it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah. All right, so Charlie's Angels is also coming out. This is such a sad movie because it looks really, really bad.
You white male, according to the director, what's her face? If this movie doesn't make money, it's because white men don't want to see women
Did
in
she
action
legit-
movie. Yes, she did.
Elizabeth Banks.
Elizabeth Banks said, "If this movie fails, it's because of white men not coming to
It
see
sounds
the movie
like,
because they don't
That's
wanna
not
see."
a great.
Yeah,
That's her argument.
That's
I'm
not
like,
a great.
and
you know,
Atomic Blonde made over $100 million.
exactly. And you know, what's her name in Captain Marvel said something real similar.
Oh yeah, it wasn't made for like cis white men.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, definitely not
Yeah,
seeing
but that
the
one
movie
also
now.
made a lot of money. I don't
It
think
did.
Charlie's Angels is going to make a lot of money.
No.
Nobody cares about this property, right?
And sadly, though, I really like Elizabeth Banks. She always has points for me because of
Hunger Games.
no, not Hunger Games. She was great in Hunger
She was
Games.
good in that.
She was great in Hunger Games, but I'm thinking about Slither.
Oh yeah, she was in
I
that.
loved her in Slither.
Yeah, she was great in
I even thought her southern accent was pretty fun.
I liked her because she played Rita Repulsa in the Power Rangers reboot. And she was really good in that.
Yeah, she's good.
That movie was
Before or
surprising.
after she ate the donut? 'Cause
I mean-
I've only seen the donut scene.
The donut's great. It's Krispy Kreme, man.
It's like
Hey.
a big old
The-
product.
the
placed
light's
at
on,
the
it's hot and
moment.
ready.
It's like, holy crap.
If you're gonna product place a donut, Krispy Kreme is the way to go. Just
And
saying.
it better be hot and ready.
It better be hot and ready. Yeah. So the Good Liar also
Well,
is at
technically hot and
61%.
fresh, because hot and
I
ready
really
is
heard good
seasoned.
things
Oh,
about
yeah.
this, but 61% makes me go, well.
Well, I'm confused.
Good Liar is the Ian
Ian
McKellen
McKellen.
and Helen Mirren movie.
Yeah.
Right, and I like that cast.
I like it too, and the trailers make it seem like this
So
might be a good movie.
Blu-ray.com has a movie called The Good Liar listed as a Blu-ray release also.
Investigating.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a remake.
Maybe that's it. Because I was
Yeah.
like, wait, what?
I mean, Nico didn't know that Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey, was
a
based
remake.
off
A remake.
of Incredible Journey,
Yeah.
which are both on Disney Plus.
Foreshadowing. All right, let's get into this.
Okay. I'm next.
You next.
In an expansion of their current relationship, Netflix and Nickelodeon have forged a new multi-year output deal to produce original animated features and television series based on existing Nickelodeon characters as well as new ones. The Viacom-owned Nickelodeon producer has previously brought to Netflix Rocko's Modern Life sequel called Santa Cling and an Invader Zim sequel called Enter the Florpus.
Has anybody heard if that's good?
I heard the Rocco's one is okay. I have not looked into Invader Zim. I missed out on the Invader Zim fandom. Like I seen some of it, but
I never got into Invader Zim or Johnny Mnemonic.
Yeah, I never got into that band.
I enjoyed. Like I wouldn't call myself a fan, but I did enjoy some of Invader
Yeah.
Zim.
But they also have works based on The Loud House, which is a property, and Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is a much more familiar property.
True.
So that one may get some traction.
Yeah.
Kids programming is another battlefield for the ongoing streaming wars that Disney has now entered the
I
fray
say
on.
on growing is also accurate.
I agree.
I almost said
Yeah, fair enough.
on-growing steaming wars. It's like, I just translated the
Did you
R.
say
accurate.
on-growing steaming wars. This is great.
They're making steamed dumplings. It's
Yeah,
great.
delicious.
Linear viewership.
I've seen that Pixar short.
Linear viewership at kids' cable networks are sinking as direct-to-consumer platforms pick up their viewers. Netflix says 60% of its subscribers watch kids' shows and movies regularly. So that is the
Spoilers.
market.
Most of them probably don't have children.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Spoilers. Disney's going to steal all of these.
Yeah. This is funny because you see all these other networks rushing to find something else because so many different platforms depended on Disney product, and now that it's Disney and Fox, this is a thing. Universal Studios is running to Nintendo for their expansion
Yeah.
of their park, which I think is cool.
I think that's cool. I
want a Mario Kart roller coaster,
It's going to be so cool.
or a what is it? The Zero game, the Nintendo game, the
F-Zero.
F-Zero X roller coaster would be amazing. But yeah, you just see everybody struggling to fill that void now, and it's just going to get worse because we were just looking, and more things are going to be leaving Netflix and other platforms in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. As deals expire, you can go onto Disney Plus and see things that they already have a thumbnail for, and it will take you. It's like, watch a trailer. We will get this in May 2020 when the deal at so and so place expires.
Whatever place, yeah. So this is not my market, so I don't, There's nothing really Nickelodeon-wise
Nickelodeon's got some okay franchises. I don't know.
I have the only Nickelodeon franchise I need already on Amazon
Yeah.
Prime.
which
Which
is
one do you have?
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, I mean, we already got Avatar, the
Yeah, that's
whole
true.
Avatar franchise, Last Airbender and Korra on Blu-ray. So, unless they're making new content of that, I don't need this at all.
Exactly.
As opposed to the Avatar James Cameron version, which is on Disney Plus.
Which is on Disney Plus. All right, moving on.
Tina?
All right. Ghostbusters alum Dan Aykroyd has confirmed the original cast are returning for another movie. Word spread quickly when it was revealed Oscar-winning Juno director Jason Reitman would be taking on the third Ghostbusters film. In a new interview on The Greg Hill Show, Aykroyd has confirmed, although the latest film in the franchise doesn't exclusively focus on the original cast, they will indeed be returning. This confirmation comes at a time when Ghostbusters fans already knew Aykroyd, Hudson, Weaver, Potts, and Murray would be returning for the Ghostbusters sequel. However, the main distinction here, as is often the case in Hollywood, nothing is ever certain until it's actually been filmed.
Right.
In this case, fans now have confirmation. Ghostbusters 2020 has finished shooting, and the entire original cast, minus the retired Rick Moranis and the late Harold Ramis, are officially officially on their way
Not
back
Ramus, that's a whole different thing.
to the big screen next summer.
So the thing that actually makes me happy about this is having somebody from the franchise confirm it, because Bill Murray has always been so cagey about this thing.
Well, Bill Murray's always cagey.
I know, which would make you put a question mark on anything you hear from anybody else.
I mean, those drugs aren't going to pay for themselves.
I mean, that's true.
He said it himself.
Yeah, that's true. So I have mixed feelings about this.
Ghostbusters 2016 laid such a bad taste in my mouth, I almost don't even care.
That one didn't for me because it had nothing to do with Ghostbusters as far as I'm concerned.
It had the title. It had everything to do with
Everybody
it.
was in it, too.
Bill
All
Murray,
living cast
Ernie
members.
Hudson, Dan Aykroyd was in it. Don't tell me it didn't have anything to do with
I'm
it.
so
Sigourney Weaver was even in it.
I'm so disconnected from it though.
What's her face? The receptionist was in it.
Annie Potts.
Rick Moranis
yeah.
was not, because he knew better.
Well, Rick
no,
Moranis doesn't.
No,
act
don't
at
give me
all.
that excuse. He knew better. He's a good guy.
Does that make you feel better thinking that?
It's a better story to tell.
On
But
an unrelated note, yes, Rick Moranis is an outstanding human being.
Yes, that's true. It's a very true story.
but it sounds like this is the story that I felt like. I mean, we don't know exactly, but it feels like that it's the one that we needed, which was
Can you imagine
let's
if
bring
they-
back the original cast as Ghostbusters and let them pass the torch onto a new
I think
group.
that's a
Yeah.
stretch.
Let's make it the real torch passing
Well, I
and
think
not
that's
just
this is stretch
cameo
because
them.
I don't think we needed it.
If they announced this
Yeah.
in 2013, 2014,
Yeah.
everybody be on it.
When they did the Ghostbusters video game and had everybody do essentially what this movie is supposedly going to do, it's like it's all the cast together and we're bringing in the rookie guy and then this is the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And supposedly they're passing on the torch to a teenage generation. So we'll see how that goes.
Ooh.
Oh no,
I didn't know that.
So-
Well,
Teenagers.
I mean, it worked for Star Wars, right?
Did it?
I mean, they were kind of teenagers in Star Wars. No, my flashbacks is Expendables 3.
God. All right. So how do we feel about Ivan Reitman directing it?
I don't care. I'm fine.
I mean, I hated Juno, but not because of the direction. I just hated the script.
But that's Diablo coding.
Right. I don't like Diablo Cody's
Well,
writing
Ivan
style.
Reitman did good. He did Young Adult, and most recently he did what was that other movie that apparently was really good? It was about the sitter or something like that.
About the what?
Tully. That was it.
Oh, is that the thing with the
Charlize Theron.
Charlize
Yes.
Theron. Yeah, I heard that was good. I didn't know he directed.
So
that.
I mean, if he's making good movies,
yeah. And so you can talk all this about how I'm so disconnected. You gonna see it? The answer is yes. You will see it, as will everybody at this table.
no, I will have to hear good word of mouth from reputable sources.
AKA not us.
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying
I was
from
just-
people who, I mean,
Do you have Real Unlimited yet?
Yeah.
I mean, just do that.
Because all of a sudden
then I don't want to waste gas money in 2+ hours.
you
You say that,
and
you haven't gotten to that phase yet. You haven't gotten to the phase where you're like, God, it's 2 hours of my life.
and you
I'm older than you.
Right?
I have less hours left
I
in
was
my
gonna,
life.
that's
No,
true.
no. When Movie Pass first
That
came
is
out,
a good point.
No. You've hit that stage. You started to realize that stage. When Movie
Dude,
Pass first came out, it was like,
You say that,
Yes.
but I saw Black and Blue. I saw the Will Smith movie.
that's because you're like, I have to fill a day.
Yeah.
and I'm going.
You can fill it in with a lot of
you can
other
fill it
stuff.
too.
You don't have to fill your day with
Exactly. I've got like 350 good movies back here. I could have stayed home and filled that day.
No, you're like, I gotta get out of this house. I need to.
I could have done 15 other things.
You can watch The Lighthouse again.
Oh,
So Dalton's on my side. It's like, it's good, but whatever. Just thought you should know.
who's on your side?
Dalton. He's like, yeah, it's good, but I don't really care.
He
He loves Parasite though, so hey.
Oh, okay.
Parasite's
Parasite.
You gotta watch Parasite again.
Yeah, I could have done that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Done that.
I actually have
You could've
not.
not seen Linda
I'll be
Ronstadt.
honest with you. I have not hit that wall because if I don't pay anything really to see something, and I might find something good in it.
You know what? Yeah, I rarely go to a movie, even if it's bad, that I feel like I wasted my time on.
Golden Compass.
Exactly.
I
Because
wasted
I
my
learned
life.
something.
I learned something, and it's
Yeah.
the experience. It's like I like experiencing bad media because it lets me appreciate good media more.
True, and it is fun to talk about bad media.
Have you ever gone to a movie where you're like, there was nothing good about it? I hated it. I hate my life. I hate that I just
Yes.
said yes to this.
Ghostbusters 2016.
Yes, exactly. So because we
Actually, I take that back. What's
Black
his name? Yeah.
boy, Black Hat. What a
Black Hat is a really funny comparison because I was
Black
going to
Cat's
say
only good because we get to talk to
about
Nathan.
it. Yeah, but it's funny because I was going to mention him, Chris
Chris
Hemsworth,
Hemsworth?
because he had like maybe the one good scene in Ghostbusters 2016 because he had a funny scene.
Oh, he
He
was
had-
the best part of my.
Yeah.
I like bits of Ghostbusters 2016,
Keanu?
but
Well, sadly, I like most of the cast of Ghostbusters 2016.
yeah, I like
and
a lot
other
of the
things.
cast.
Yeah.
Not everything lands, but I do like bits of it. And
Keanu.
I don't have the hatred
we
of it that
walked
you guys
out.
have.
Yeah.
Keanu's fair.
walked out of it.
we walked out and we paid money.
And I've never
$7.
I've
down
never
the
walked
drain.
out of a movie, so I can't say that.
I have walked out of 3 movies. I walked out of Keanu. I walked out of the Transformers movie, which
That's
we've talked
right,
about before.
Yeah.
And then really early on, as a youngster, I walked out of Ford Fairlane. The movie Ford Fairlane. Do you know that movie? It has
Vaguely.
Gilbert Godfrey in it, and what's the guy? The comedian with the leather jacket. Andrew
Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's his movie. I was like, wow, this is terrible. Even as a kid,
because
I'm
Andrew
like,
Dice Clay is terrible.
To
Yeah.
be fair about Keanu, it was a midnight movie, and we're like, we could go home.
yeah. And 2 out of 3 of those,
And to
I
be fair,
didn't pay for.
you should have known what you were getting into when you saw the trailer.
Well, you want to know what? You want to know what's
I was
really
promised
funny?
a cat.
His-
The cat
I was going to
leaves.
say we went for the cat, and he's only in the first like 10 minutes, and then you don't see him again.
That's fair.
The cat leaves. They're playing all cat videos before as the pre-show.
You're getting all excited.
So
I'm
like the
like, here come cats.
proportionalness
No
of
cats.
the cat in promotional material versus cat in movie is very poor.
Yes.
It's true.
Well,
Whereas
they
you could have
listened
gone.
to your
And it was
feedback and
improv.
decided to give you cats.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, true.
What was that?
Cats is for you, man.
What was that movie that they had at the Belcourt that was all about cats? Remember that? Was it a Melissa movie or what?
It was
remember?
called Kitey.
Which is
I went and saw it.
Isn't that doesn't that translate to cats or cat?
Sure. It was about Ukraine, and
Yeah,
they have
that's what it
cats
was.
roaming around.
Ukraine.
Oh
It
yeah,
was
yeah,
a
yeah. I
documentary
remember
all
that
about
existing.
cats.
Nothing but
And I
cats.
took KJ to see it because she needed a distraction, and it filled that void. It was actually, if you're a cat lover, it was like, yeah, cats.
Yeah, cats. There we go.
If you're a dog lover, I have bad news for you.
All right.
Do we want to talk quickly about Dr. Sleep before
No,
move
we
on?
really can't. The only thing I'll say
Go,
Yeah.
impressions.
we're gonna have a breakdown of Doctor Sleep next week. But the only thing I wanted that I would be
Can't
willing
touch
to
on the
do,
Mandalorian.
yeah, we're gonna hit the Mandalorian in TV.
that's
The only thing that I would say that I'm gonna say
Spoiler-free.
about Doctor Sleep, there's only one thing I'll say is 8 out of 10. That's all I'm gonna say.
Good.
I'm probably I was at an 8.5 walking out. I'm probably now at a 7.5.
No, those are still good scores. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
no,
excited.
it's-
Especially from you two.
I mean that
recommend
as a
it.
solid score,
Yeah. I
as
still
being a fan
recommend
of The Shining.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much worth seeing, and the cast is great.
Cool. All right.
My favorite thing cast wise is
Oh,
Rose the Hat.
I hear she's the standout.
She's gorgeous.
there is a standout.
She's
and
gorgeous, but her acting is awesome. I think they must have picked her because she looks so good in the hat, though.
there's a standout in here, and I can't go into it. But
No, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know who
All right.
I'm talking
Okay.
about.
We'll get
and
to
oh
it.
my
So
gosh.
now
Let's
on
go
to
to
Disney
TV.
Plus.
Let's talk about Disney Plus.
Do we want to open with the story first?
Yeah, let's get the story out of the way, then we'll
right.
we'll break down the
All
rest
right.
of it.
So Disney Plus will have no story. I should have pre-did. my
Yeah,
thing
you
here.
should have probably.
Basically,
I'm
Disney
prepared.
Plus is not bringing the Spider-Man movies.
Well, thanks. Yeah, Disney Plus is not bringing the
I cut
Spider-Man
it down for
movies, including Spider-Man: Far From Home and Spider-Man: Homecoming. This is because they were co-produced at Sony, and so when Sony brings up their streaming service, there you go. You'll have to.
What is
subscribe to
Sony
that.
doing a streaming service?
No, but that's the thing is, it's like
Well, the thing is,
that's why they're not on Disney Plus. Is because
PlayStation
they're
View
technically
is getting axed. So
Yeah.
They're not Disney-owned material, so Disney isn't putting them up.
Sony has what do they call it? It's a on demand. It's a Sony HD channel on demand, which is very old school.
Actually, I don't remember. Did Homecoming stream anywhere on regular stuff? Because before Disney,
yeah, it did. It was on Netflix.
was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't remember seeing it on Netflix, but before, of course, Disney Plus. That was the dumping ground for Marvel movies. Was putting them up on Netflix. I didn't remember seeing Homecoming on.
yeah, Homecoming was on
Okay.
Netflix.
It's funny.
I own it, so I didn't have to
one of you posted this story into our group, right?
Yes, this one.
Yeah.
So the thing that struck me is I saw this story on a bunch of different websites. Everyone's talking about it. Why is anyone surprised that Sony product is not going to be on Disney Plus? It's still Sony films.
Yeah, I think it's very much. I think it's a mainstream audience disconnect that still is kind of a fallout of the Disney Marvel.
was an Avenger.
Yeah, but because they see Spider-Man is a Marvel property.
Yeah.
And Disney owns Marvel. And so why isn't this with the other Marvel properties on the Disney-owned and produced
He
streaming
might
service?
spend summers with his dad, but his mom has full custody.
Exactly. It's a
Right.
divorce.
That's good.
It is very, very much the divorced child syndrome. So yeah, it is a mainstream disconnect, I think. But
Especially if you start looking at the physical media release that you can get at Best Buy of the entire collection,
Yeah.
the Spider-Man films are in there. So it really, I guess maybe in like the mainstream it could be confusing.
Yeah.
I never expected them to be there.
I expect them at some point. Not
I don't think so.
I do at some point.
It depends on how desperate Sony gets.
Do you think that Disney would license out, like pay a licensing or royalty fee just to get them there so they could complete the franchise?
Whatever in the
How low is that price?
whatever in the continuous negotiations
How
that
desperate is Sony?
Oh no, it's gonna be high.
Well,
The price
whatever
is gonna be high.
but whatever in the continuous negotiations is going to keep going on and on and on between Sony and Disney for Spider-Man. I think at some point they will address the streaming allocation of the Spider-Man movies. I don't know when that will be. I don't think it will be within a year.
No.
But I think
Yeah.
at some point
Disney
it will
Plus
be.
has to become a major contender.
Yeah.
A
Yeah, I think that. I think
streaming
basically
contender.
Disney has
You would
Disney
think
already
they already are, but Netflix is still the king.
Well,
Disney's
and-
already come out and said they had like I think 10 million,
10 million
subscribers
first day.
Yeah.
first day. So it's already becoming a big contender, but
It's already bigger than 2/3 of the streaming platforms out there.
yeah.
Yes.
But I think
Yes.
I think it needs some more staying power, and to get some more legs. But I mean, because we also know that some of the content that will be on Disney Plus won't be on Disney Plus for 2 years. We looked through some of the materials that Disney has.
2022.
Yeah, Disney has licensing agreements to stream certain content on other
What
platforms.
was it? Tomorrowland was.
Tomorrowland is
2022.
20. I thought it was 21. 2021 was for Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Solo is 2020, but 2021 for Tomorrowland, which is a bomb for Disney's box office that year. But Disney's not going to get the rights to stream it back for 2 years.
Yes. So the one thing I will comment on the Spider-Man aspect of that story is the more I think about it lately, the more I wish that they would make a deal with Sony, do one more movie with Spider-Man in it, and write him out of the MCU. Because what's going to happen if they continue this is Sony's going to keep renegotiating, they're going to keep fighting, and they're going to write themselves into a corner with something. And suddenly Spider-Man's going to be gone in the middle of a cliffhanger or something. And I love Spider-Man, but the way those two studios work together, I just wish he wasn't there. Do his own movies and do good ones, you know?
I think what
The MCU is over.
no, it's not.
Not even close.
I think they could do that, but the other option is Disney just keeps making. I don't know. Somebody's going to make the concessions because honestly, I think it is better for Spider-Man to be in the MCU for both parties involved.
I mean, it's better for us. It's
was
better for me.
Well, yeah,
but-
the audience too. I think for both parties involved. I think the involvement of Disney and more importantly, Kevin Feige in the making of the Spider-Man properties,
Yeah.
is beneficial to Sony. And because if we look, you go, yeah, okay, Spider-Man back in the day, the Sam Raimi films were huge box office successes.
And Spider-Man 2 remains the best Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 2 is amazing.
Literally.
But the Amazing Spider-Man movies, not
Were
so well.
terrible.
They
Terrible.
were bad. So I think they're not really at a point where it works for them to just reset all of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I think they need Feige for this. So
Well, and you say that, and my Marvel spirit animal agrees with you, but Feige is getting so stretched now because Disney's desperate to
He's
do.
taking over Star Wars.
Yeah, I was gonna say Disney is so desperate to do a good Star Wars movie that now he's taking over Star Wars
well,
too.
I don't think that's been officially stated.
I thought it was.
No, it was
thought it
rumored.
was.
Because
Yeah, I thought it was too.
the last big Feige thing that came out was him taking over, becoming what was it, chief creative officer of all of Marvel.
Yeah.
So he's basically going.
Because Jeff
that-
Loeb is stepping away.
Yeah, so he's basically having more of a creative input on the rest of the Marvel universe. So
think
television,
this
which we
boils
talked
down-
about is really bad news for comics.
I think this
think-
boils down to one thing. Kevin Feige, if you need a personal assistant, hit me up.
well, it depends on how well Kevin Feige is mentoring the next generation of him.
Yeah.
To follow him. I don't think it's a really bad thing, mostly because I think it's all a move to push out Ike Perlmutter, which I would love for him to be out.
Yeah,
of
he's
Marvel.
been a disaster for Marvel.
So
that's
if-
why the TV has sucked.
Well,
Except the Runaways. Runaways is pretty good.
I don't think that is necessarily his fault. He's just a terrible person.
Yeah.
But I would like for him to be pushed out, and I think that's beneficial. But I don't like all of it being consolidated under just Feige. But if anybody can do it, it is Feige. But back to the main thing, I think ultimately Disney and Sony should just keep working together to make it work, because I think it's better for both parties if this works.
I mean, I agree with you. I just don't have confidence.
Yeah,
I just-
that's fair. It's fair not to have confidence that it will work.
Yeah.
They should make it work.
Agree.
Okay,
so should we just go into
Disney Plus?
Disney Plus?
Mandalorian?
we're well,
Oh my gosh, Disney Plus came out,
let's
guys.
talk about the service. Then we can go into Mandalorian.
Yeah.
we all have it now.
We all have it.
subscribed. When did you guys set up your subscription?
I set up my subscription yesterday evening after I was done with work. It was it was
That-
even
Monday
early. It was 4 o'clock or something.
You
I
said
set
last
it up.
night?
Monday night, about 5 hours prior to lunch.
Okay.
Oh, so you actually sort of did the pre thing.
I mean, KJ did.
Yeah.
So
but the fact is, it was done.
So I got up because we get up at 5 in the
5
morning
a.m.
and for work. So I got up and immediately got it running and like it turned
That
it on.
was the quickest
I
I've
said-
ever not seen him move out of bed because I was still asleep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I got it set up. I did the combo deal. Actually, I'd like to hear you go into some of the stuff you talked about on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
But I did the Hulu, ESPN, not that I'll use ESPN, and
Exactly.
Disney combo deal because I do use Hulu. And now, once I set it up, got it working, played in one episode.
Well, Brandon, when we get into a new house, we can throw a very white person Super Bowl party.
yeah.
But I got it set up.
You could do that.
Well, wait a minute. Super Bowl isn't on ESPN.
Yeah.
It's
It's
on
like,
ABC.
why is my arm hurting?
Tina's not a
I had
sports
a flu
fan.
shot today.
Sport
Oh,
fan.
But no, and got it set up because I had to go to work. I didn't watch anything long.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Jeff Goldblum, the World According to Jeff Goldblum, which is pretty decent. We can go into that in a
It
bit.
took all of my willpower work. I really hope you're not listening. Took all of my willpower not to just sit there with my computer on the couch with the volume up so I could hear somebody notified me and just watch it all day.
But then
Yeah.
it glitched.
It
The
glitched.
moment
Oh, yeah.
afterwards, we had the problem that a lot of people were having, where it was a very buggy service. After it played the episode that it played, it did not want to do anything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I worked from home that day because I was smart and looked at the weather beforehand. And I still had an hour between when he was getting ready for work so he couldn't watch anything and when I had to clock in. So I was like, cool, I can watch something. Nope. I watched the circle go round and round for a good 15, 20 minutes before I was like, screw this.
I woke up 7 a.m., immediately logged in, and was... all I wanted
You guys
to do,
really were excited for
No,
this.
I woke up and just was like on the toilet going, well, let's see what it looks like. And it was like, oh, well, we're unavailable. And I went, that is unacceptable in this day and age.
Well,
It
it's
is
unacceptable because it's Disney.
Oh,
It's
that's the
Disney.
most.
Second biggest company
You
probably
know
to
your
Apple.
product is going to launch. It's going to be massive.
Especially with the amount of
You need
people
to
that was
quadruple
watching this.
whatever you thought was your highest expectation. You need to quadruple that.
And that was the surprising thing because it had released early for some test markets.
Yeah.
So like that stuff, the functionality of the system should have worked. So the only thing then after the test markets they have to account for is bandwidth, which it's to get Disney.
Yeah.
They should just have a server farm under Walt Disney World that powers everything.
Even if they rented some temporarily and then
Yeah.
then rolled them back because they didn't need them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to fill out the space. It's better to have spent money and
was
have it
a
work
huge
beautifully.
oversight. A company like this shouldn't.
It's unacceptable. It was unacceptable 3 years ago. And it's unacceptable today. I don't care whatever excuse anyone says. You got the money, Disney. You're literally getting, I mean, 10 million times $7.
I kind of felt
$70+ million for a month.
I kind of felt
Don't
bad
tell me
for
you don't have the money.
for the Disney Plus design team because
Yeah.
there's got to be at some point. 'Cause they've been working on this for like years.
Yeah.
Some point in the much more recent completion of the the Fox buyout, when they effectively became the owners of Hulu, somebody had to go, you know what would have been way easier? We could have just copied the Hulu code and just
Totally.
used that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nope.
Yeah, now, well, we talked about this.
So it does start
Hulu
working
is not
until noon.
necessarily the best.
But it's
app,
functional.
but it is solid. It
Yeah,
doesn't
their
crash.
Search function's bad.
Who?
Hulu.
Yeah, well, so is Disney Plus. The search function sucks. It's so basic.
Yeah.
I had trouble finding things. I wanted to watch
Also-
the Imagineering thing.
Yeah.
I had trouble finding it. First.
Also, there's a bad problem with some of the tagging they use to sort their
Yeah.
movies. We went to the movies A through Z and went A to Z.
Yeah.
And a lot of the sequels are broken up into different parts.
Yeah,
I
because-
saw
it
that
was like
too.
Yeah, and-
Aladdin, and then Aladdin 3, King of Thieves, and he's like, "What? They don't have Return of Jafar?" And then under
Return
the
of Jafar.
R's,
Even
there
though
was
the
Return of
proper
Jafar.
movie, the proper name of the movie is, I think, is Aladdin: Return of Jafar. But or maybe it is just Return of Jafar. They have
So,
it tagged in the
you know
R's.
where else it's
they
like
also
that?
they also had it on a lot of D's because they have a lot of stuff
Yeah.
like
Disney's this, Disney's that. But then
Yeah.
later on, when things you thought would have been tagged Disney's this,
Yeah.
or are under like the T's or the
It's so
V's
weird.
or
So if
whatever.
you pull up the Marvel, they have their big franchises
Yeah.
Yeah.
broken up. If you pull up the Marvel section and you just look at like the Marvel list of films, why are the Avengers movies not all one after the other?
Yeah.
Because they're Avengers.
And some of
but
the
they're
tiles,
split up and all
yeah,
over the place.
Some of the tiles repeat. Like there was one where it was like
Yeah, we saw
here,
repeating
like 'cause there's
thumbnails.
4 on a row, and there was one that had 3 repeating on the very next row. Like exact same movie, no differences that we could tell. It was the exact same movie, the exact same tile.
I also know in some cases, like I heard a lot of people about the new DuckTales, the current running DuckTales cartoon. The episode count is out of order. So
That's-
and that
so if
that
you
one's-
let it run, it's going to
Yeah.
play them out of order.
That one's got
that-
some like serialized content on it,
and
so it
people have
goes
been
from like
reporting, especially for like series, that it doesn't keep track of the episodes that you've
Yeah.
watched. So you have to remember what episode
This
you
is
were
what I was
on.
telling you earlier.
Here's something annoying that Zach and I both ran into, and it was so annoying. So I was watching, I don't remember which one you said you were watching, but I was watching the Imagineering doc, and I had to quit. I had to step away to do some stuff. So I exit out, and I shut everything down, and I come back, and have to go back and reopen it, and there's no resume
Yeah.
option. You have to go back in and hit play, and in my case, I had to fast forward back to where I was watching. It didn't save the spot.
There's
Yeah.
no column like on Netflix to where if you're watching something and come back, continue watching. There's none of that.
Yeah.
It doesn't show you what you've watched and what you haven't watched.
The only thing you can do is hit that watch list and add stuff to that list, and then of course it'll be.
And I
So-
think this will all get patched out eventually, but it's this is day one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It should
this
be
is
fixed.
not only is
isn't
this day one,
new
like
in the
this is like
streaming world.
standard
This is
size
streaming
thing.
services exist, and they do these services
Yeah.
already.
Shudder
One, you
does
already
this
mostly
stuff.
own does this service already.
At this
Hulu
point,
does
Shudder
this.
is a better interface.
layout, yeah.
And Shudder is a much smaller company. The two things you guys saw, one of the
does.
issues that I was having was The Mandalorian. Every time I go to watch it, and I've watched it twice, and we looked at a little bit of it today, is I have to play it like 3 times,
Yeah.
and I get the error
Before it
message
connects.
before it
and,
finally
and
plays.
this
Yeah.
was this wasn't launch day.
Yeah, it's
They've
happened again a
They've
little while
had
ago.
over 24 hours from
Yeah.
launch time to work out some of this, and it's still happening.
And here's something else weird that happened. and I did this twice to make sure it wasn't me just misclicking. But I clicked on it was some random movie in like in their like drama, like based on I think they labeled it based on a true story thing, and because I was just clicking on things to look. I think it was Remember the Titans is what I think it was, that Denzel movie that's on there, and I clicked it just to see if it would load, and it loaded High School Musical. Yeah, so I came out. I thought, okay, maybe they're above each other or something. And I misclicked.
It's like Disney's version of a Rickroll.
Maybe because then I went and clicked it again and it did the same thing again.
That's so weird.
Well, don't worry, Steven.
Apparently-
We're all in this together.
Hey,
Damn it!
I did have an interesting bug.
I was gonna go another way. And,
So it started working around 12 o'clock, 1 p.m. for me, and I still had some glitches, but I finally got it to pull up The Great Mouse Detective. That's a show. It's a movie I used to watch as a kid, and I was like, hey, you know what? Let's see it. It's been
It's
years.
one of the reasons I call my friend Basil.
Yeah.
There was no play button.
Wow. Okay.
There was no plus button. It was just, here's the page.
oh wow. Well, it's like maybe that one's got a streaming licensing too, but it didn't have text. So.
Yeah.
Right.
No, there was nothing.
There's a lot of weird play issues too with content. Like we'll get into one probably a lot in a moment. But I know Simpsons, for instance, the Simpsons TV show.
Yeah.
A lot of the
So
early
this
shows,
goes into a whole list of
This goes
issues
into,
that I have.
this needs to be patched immediately.
Okay,
And this
so-
is not just Simpsons. There's a lot of material.
Well,
on
let's
here
just
that has
let's
been
just kind of
given
Let's
us
get to the
the
issue
street.
first.
let's list some of it, because when you're talking about The Simpsons, it's the early seasons when they were 4x3.
Yep.
And they cropped and zoomed them, and it's really bad for The Simpsons because in those early days they would do gags all over the screen.
A lot of visual gags. I like the one gag they use in particular that I saw a screenshot of is they do a tour of the Duff Beer Factory, and then there's a pipe at the top, and then goes to a split three-way that goes into Duff Light, Duff Diet. But the way it's cropped, you miss the fact that it's one pipe feeding the same three. So it's the same beer, but you don't get the visual gag, but it's cropped.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I know we watched other shows that are 4x3 that are 4x3.
So I think I have some information on that, but let's just list some more of them first, and we'll go back and break it down.
We popped on Halloween Town just for poops and giggles. It was cropped to 178 by 1. It's like,
Do you know who had Halloween
Why?
Town before?
It would have been Disney. It's a Disney
It's a
channel.
It's a
Disney.
Disney
It's
original
a Disney
movie.
Channel original movie.
Okay. Well, I mean, they may have licensed it for streaming.
No.
Amazon Prime, not Prime, but Amazon does have it on streaming. I was looking at
Okay.
a bunch of other.
So you think
stuff
when it
like
was
that.
formatted for the streaming service that they...
So I'm almost 100% certain that that's what's going on with The Simpsons. Because I was
Xenon-
looking into it, and the previous streaming option was Fox's streaming service that they have through FX.
And they did that?
They cropped it. Yeah, exactly the same. And people lost their minds then too. But this just goes into something that
Hey,
I think
Michelle.
is, huh?
Hey, Michelle.
Oh, hey, Michelle. Something that goes into like it's laziness, because what they did, if this assumption is true, is they just grabbed those files that were used for streaming previously and are streaming them now. And I feel the same way about the Star Wars thing that we encounter, which is this weird, horrible re-edit of the Who Shot First sequence.
That was not Disney's fault.
Well,
that's his
but
point.
it is
That's his-
Disney's fault.
Well, his point is that,
Yeah.
but just like in the Star Wars, is the same thing with The Simpsons. Disney, the Disney Plus streaming team, took material that was sourced somewhere else, like with The Simpsons for Fox's old streaming service,
With Star Wars for the
Star Wars being
unreleased.
the unreleased 4K restoration that Lucasfilms was doing before Disney.
Which was had the Lucas recut of this Grebo.
Yeah, which was the Lucas recut of the
This
Guido
is
Long
what, the
Shot
fourth
First.
time?
Yep.
yeah.
But yeah, it's
Lazy.
yeah.
It's lazy. It's not caring about the product you're putting out. Is what it boils
Although I
down
will
to
say the
me.
rest of that Star Wars looks fantastic.
It does look beautiful.
Oh, man.
Now, the thing that I encountered watching more of it is because it looks so good. When their service gets bogged down, you can see it.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
compression kicks in like that. And it's like from scene to scene. It's like, oh
yeah.
look how things just got soft all of a sudden.
I will say we ran into an issue with Xenon Girl of the 21st Century because we were going
Another
through...
Disney Channel original movie.
That one was in 133. However, it looks like anamorphic footage that hasn't been de-squeezed.
Oh man, like old kung fu movies.
Like it was 133, but everyone was taller and
And
thinner.
skinny.
And
Yeah.
it was like this doesn't look correct.
Well, that's
I
what
don't
living on
know-
a space station does.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
know if that's the original, but
Everybody looks like olive oil.
KJ and I were looking at it going, something's off here.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, this looks like undesqueezed footage from anamorphic lenses, and it was not shot in anamorphic.
So this is the, and I was talking with somebody on Facebook about this. It's a combination of things that really bother me. Is one, it's laziness on Disney's part. They're just trying to throw the content out there. They're not paying attention to what they're doing, and when they do pay attention, they're cutting the crap out of things and kind of destroying film history. We know that Dumbo's been chopped up. We know that the end of Toy Story's been chopped up. We know that Miracle on 34th Street or whatever it is, the Santa Claus movie, has the Fox logo has been taken off into Disney.
Has it?
That's what I
Well,
read.
we talked about
now,
that, like, a couple
Now, I was gonna bring up.
I haven't like looked at it like since it's launched proper to see if that's a thing.
Well, I was going to bring that the other side of that up is because I got real triggered when I saw what they did to Star Wars. But in fact, the Disney or the Fox logo is intact.
Good.
So I wonder.
Miracle on 34th Street has 20th Century Fox logo at the beginning of it.
yeah, it
Well,
could,
maybe
it could have been audience blowback. They could have gotten
Yeah,
enough.
it could have.
Yeah, it could have been because people lost their
Well,
minds.
maybe
over
they
it.
shouldn't. What was it? Do stuff based on committee.
I
What
know.
was that, Steven?
That's not filmmaking.
All right,
Free show. That's
Free
not-
show, goodness.
it's film unmaking.
Yeah, right.
So, but no,
So it's.
I
I'm
had-
just ribbing you.
I had a topic too, but that was too good and I lost
Yeah.
it.
No, I had it in my head, and I think I shot it to her because I knew someone was going to say it. I was waiting. I knew it.
What?
But what?
Okay, so I just pulled up Xenon because I wanted to show somebody. It is filling the screen on my phone.
Maybe.
Maybe it is shot anamorphically? Because
Maybe.
this is not 235. This is not 178. This is, what, 2 to 18?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But that
It's
odd.
definitely a widescreen presentation.
yeah.
There is no options for aspect ratio. This is odd.
But it's just, and then Zach and I were also discussing because he had heard a rumor, which I'm glad is not true,
Yeah.
that the Lady and the Tramp had
was
been
getting
cut. And you said it
Well,
didn't.
it was
It
cut
was not.
and then refilmed in live action, if that's what
No,
you mean.
Yeah.
it was. They specifically were talking about the original one with the Siamese cats. Now, in the updated one, they have been removed essentially, but the original film was
Yeah.
what they were talking about, to where they.
This reminds me
Yeah,
what I was going to say. I do know in some definitely some of the older material, they do
This one's in 133.
they do
So
put a disclaimer in like the
I'm
text.
fine with that.
Yeah, they put like this shows opinions of its time or something. It's not
Or
quite the
this
I'm fine with
kids
that.
show features cigarette smoke and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
it's not
Yeah, I'm
to
fine with that.
it's not quite to the extent that like Warner Brothers does with their old Looney Tunes, but it's in that same vein.
Michelle, if you're on Disney Plus, let us know what you think, and Zach will look at his because I don't have my phone. He
Oh,
will
we've
look at
lost
the chat.
Zach for the
Yeah.
rest of the night.
Yeah,
No, I'm here.
yeah. Pull up the
so,
chat. And make
so
sure
here's The Simpsons cropped to 178.
Yeah, it's like why?
It's like why?
Yeah, why would you do that?
Yeah.
And my only thing is, we know that Fox did it originally. Maybe it was. I said this is
There,
done
actually,
for
the
mobile phones.
Dumbo was not edited out. Controversial scenes for Dumbo not edited out for Disney Plus after all.
Really?
So where's Song of the South?
Well, that's
That's
a
not-
whole different story.
Disney Plus isn't editing out any scenes from Song of the South. They're just
editing
removing
out
scenes.
that.
Let's see if Toy Story 2 is intact. While we're at it.
The closing credits.
Yeah, let's see if
because
it's there.
and maybe what happened was
Toy Story 2
with-
might not be if it's like the last release.
It's in the closing credits or whatever.
Well, if
Yeah.
it's in the last, if it was edited out of the last
I think
streaming version.
I
of Toy
think
Story
it was
2.
edited out of the last Blu-ray release.
It was
wasn't
on the 4K Blu-rays. It was not there. So,
So
Yeah,
if it's
so it's not gonna be there.
Probably not going to
Yeah.
be here.
well, I'm curious. Let's
Yeah,
see.
yeah, it's
well,
fair.
yeah. Look and see. I'm kind of okay
I
with
will
Song of the
say-
South not being up
Yeah.
there. I'm fine with that.
I finally get to see Toy Story
I'd like
3
to
now.
finally just see it. in
What?
4K.
I finally
She
get to
hasn't
see
seen-
Toy Story 3 now.
Wow.
And she pointed that out, and I was like, Tina, it was streaming in other places. We always could have seen Toy Story 3.
That's a shocking.
That's going to be a weekend watch, Tina. We're going to watch that
Exactly.
this weekend. We're going to cry. It's going to be great.
So
I always cry.
I hope that's true. I hope that they were just testing the waters to see what fan reaction would be.
Yeah.
Because
As long-
apparently
yeah.
a lot of the things that they
I
had
don't
put out was
like
going to
that
happen.
they thought to do that, but I like that
I
they
will
thought
say-
to test instead of just going out and doing it.
I get it.
I will
don't
say
like
Disney
that they.
Plus made one of my.
I don't like that they had the inclination to do that.
That
in the
inclination
first place.
is
Yeah.
terrifying
Yes.
to me.
Yeah.
But as
For
long as
somebody who loves film history.
But as long as they test it first and the audience fights back, that makes me feel better.
Yeah, exactly.
But and Nico doesn't fully believe this, but
I don't
Disney,
believe anything she says.
as
Disney
you
helped
shouldn't.
make one of my childhood dreams come true. And I posted as much on Facebook last night. So he turns to me and he goes, "So one of your childhood dreams was to have So Weird readily available?" And I was like, legitimately, yes. My childhood dream was to be able to watch Are You Afraid of the Dark and So Weird anytime I wanted.
For anyone who's curious, So Weird is a Disney Channel original TV show.
1998
don't know anything about it.
It's basically about this traveling family, and the girl, the main character, is basically looking for
paranormal investigator.
activity
Okay.
and stuff
and
like
all
that.
that stuff.
Her mom is Mackenzie Phillips, the musician, and she
all
plays a musician. That's why they travel. They're actually
Yeah.
they're doing
It's
road shows.
it's the series that developed my crush on Eric Von Dieter, and yeah, it's watching it again. You're just like, oh my god, it's so 90s.
Well, and that's the thing.
It's so weird.
when Nico, when you said the whole thing about their subscriber launch was great, but what is their longevity going to be?
Yeah.
And I think right now they're trading on nostalgia a lot for most of their
Totally,
their content.
yeah.
So the
It
question
worked for
is going to
me.
be, how long does that last? Because you go back and look at a lot of stuff from your childhood. Oh, I'm so nostalgic. It's so cool. And then you watch it and it's
I'm still gonna watch all of
it's
it again.
terrible. It's just
Yeah.
it's terrible.
Even
Well,
the third season was a horrible replacement.
And so
They're still
you
made-
you may watch all of it all the way through once, but then you watched it and it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
you don't
it's,
need to.
it's 90s, it's kind of
No,
bad.
no.
I have watched Are You Afraid of
That's
the
not
Dark
how it's
since
That's
I
not how
got
it's
it
gonna work,
from
no. Yeah.
Amazon Prime. I have watched Are You Afraid of the Dark fully, all
Yeah, but
9
isn't
seasons.
Are You Afraid of the Dark Nickelodeon?
Yeah.
But she's using that as an example
As an
of
example.
going back and watching
already 3 times.
super
since-
nostalgic
since I
stuff.
got it all.
So,
So
Yeah.
I don't care.
So yeah, that example's
I
not going to work.
understand.
Not for her.
But my point being is they are also making new stuff.
Yeah.
One of which is The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian.
So
which is-
now
let's talk about the
Spoiler.
Mandalorian.
spoilers
Breaking
for the
down The
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Episode
And
one.
definitely
Episode
spoilers because
Was
I've
anybody
already
else
seen
annoyed
spoilers
that
already
there was only
online.
one episode?
No, actually,
No.
you know what? The more
You were the only one I know that was really
Really?
annoyed.
I was annoyed at first.
so apparently the new episodes drop on Friday.
Okay.
I'm
Except
actually kind of glad that they're doing the weekly release.
apparently the Tuesday because there was one for launch, but regularly Friday is the drop date for the new episodes
Yeah.
for Mandalorian.
Okay.
So we actually get 2 this week.
All right.
But
I
it
agree.
gives us, well, one, it gives us something new to talk about each week.
Mm-hmm.
2, it doesn't mean I have to
Yeah, it's
sacrifice an entire
Yeah, I figured it would be.
weekend to stream it just to be caught up before I see spoilers. Because there are people who will binge it straight for 8
So,
hours and then post the spoilers.
That was the thing I thought about. I was kind of happy about is people were spoiling this first episode within minutes of it being available.
Yes.
Yeah, people took off yesterday to watch Disney Plus.
Just
It would
to
have been
spoil
done.
things, yeah.
Well, I mean, not just to spoil, but no, it would have been spoiled because of that fervor. Now, I like it because I feel more and more that the Netflix strategy, the batch releases, do cause things to not live as long in the cultural zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Exceptions,
Agreed.
of course. Like, Stranger Things
Things.
is appointment viewing, and that one has a pervasiveness that lasts longer.
But
it's
95% of their stuff is not that way.
95, and it's also diminishing returns because I don't feel like each subsequent season of Stranger Things
Yeah.
lives as long as the first one did.
Agree.
And-
And they have other shows that are good. And like I said, and I'm going to do it this weekend. I'm going to get rid of Netflix and then go back to it when I
Just watch Dolomite first, and then get rid of Netflix.
Or as I look at it, they put out nice sets for Stranger Things. I might just wait and buy the Blu-rays.
Yeah.
But other shows that I thought
Just
were
borrow
good.
somebody's account for a weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other shows that I thought were good, I feel like because they're gone so long, I don't really have to see anymore. Like
Yeah.
I loved season 1 of Russian Doll, but I'm waiting so long now, I just don't really care.
That's the
anymore.
other thing too.
Yeah.
is
Yeah, that's what happened with the new
because
Attack on Titan.
It makes the
Yeah.
wait longer too because you kill it in a week or a weekend, as opposed to you have to live with this for like 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
and then 6
And-
months pass,
yeah.
and then oh hey look it's back.
So, I guess what bothered me initially about The Mandalorian is I like the Hulu model of weekly. Like, this is not new. I've been watching Handmaid's Tale since season 1, and it's weekly. But what they do that first week is they give you 2 or 3
Yeah.
to warm you up, get you into it, and then you've got to watch the next 8 every week. And I think 2 episodes would have been better.
I think doing like a 2-hour opening would have been fine, but I'm okay with the way it does it now. The other thing I was thinking about this, and you will disagree with me
Oh, here we go.
because of our pre-show discussion.
Oh, here we go.
With Sonic the Hedgehog.
Here we go.
But I think being able to produce a show kind of while it's airing, so that, like, say for instance, your first episode's airing while you're in production of like the back half of the season, gives you chance to kind of phone in on what you see the audience really caring about.
Oh, yeah, I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
Because here's the reason I was thinking about that. I think Iron Fist would have been better had they.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It would have been better.
Because it was the thing. I was thinking back.
It would have been better if they hadn't rushed.
But because that's the thing, they rushed it. Maybe that's the thing. That's the better way to look at it. Like Netflix, in some cases, rushed some of the production of materials because they have to have it all ready at once.
Yeah.
Whereas you could produce a show so that you're filming.
Not really. I'll tell you why that still doesn't work.
So
Is
much
because
CGI and a visual effects
and the
has to be
pre-production
involved.
of locations and costumes. By the time we're watching this episode,
They're done with
the scripts are written.
Yeah.
The stuff they may not have filmed. They're still filming, but everything else is locked. There's no going back.
Yeah,
to
but there's a
changes.
lot of stuff you can do in filming and editing.
There's a lot of stuff you can do in editing.
Yeah,
but
the
production,
editing wouldn't have been done by that point for some of the back half shows. I think, and plus again,
you'll be surprised. It'll be really close.
but still, it's still not rushing it the same way that like Iron Fist.
It
was
is
rushed.
not. You are 100% correct.
So I think
Iron Fist, we know it was rushed because he only had what was it, 2 months of physical training?
Not even that. He had like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there is something to be said about decompressing the production cycle of some of this material by letting it release a week at a time.
lived
You know what? You're
fast too
absolutely
long.
right. I hope Game of Thrones could get that treatment.
So I used
You know what? That's a completely different problem that we've unpacked on the show already.
It's true. So I used to really enjoy.
Darn it, Daenerys.
We're not going there. We're not going there. We're not going there. So I really used to enjoy the whole outside of what you're talking about, which I think is 100% valid. I used to really enjoy the whole being able to take a weekend or especially a single day, like a Sunday when I'm
I
doing
enjoyed when
laundry
the show's good.
and binging something, but there's so much content. Like on a daily basis, how many shows get thrown at you? Oh, this is good. You need to watch this.
That's
Yeah.
the other thing, too. If
Yeah.
you release it week at a time, it's like I don't have to spend like 8 hours watching this show and then 8 hours watching this one. It's like I could watch like 3 new shows
I
a
can spend
week.
those 8 hours watching 8 shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
while theoretically you could control yourself to do that, no one's going to do
No one does it,
Yeah.
and also what we talked about in the pre-show, you almost can't do it if you're someone who works or spend on social media or spends a lot of time on social media.
Yeah.
People spoil. People.
I mean,
everybody's so desperate to be
It's not
funny.
even
they'll
48
spoil.
hours, and I've already seen, again, spoilers for The Mandalorian. I've already seen 3 or 4 articles broadcasting
the
Baby
in-scene
Yoda.
spoiler. Yeah.
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 Well, I mean, we could say it because we're going to talk now about it anyway.
Yeah, because we've been saying spoilers.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Mandalorian.
Disney, you finally did it. You got Star Wars right.
I really enjoyed it.
It took 4 years, but you finally got it.
The pre-credit sequence, just the pre-credit
Oh,
sequence.
Oh, man.
I was watching it and I text Zach. I'm like, you haven't watched it yet? Because he was watching the Imaginarium.
I'm like,
thing first,
that's
and I'm
next, it's next.
Listen, you need to be watching this because just the pre-credit sequence, I knew that was enough. I'm in.
Yeah.
This is the best Star Wars that we've had since the original films.
I will say,
Yes.
like, as soon as the dude asked for, or the bartender was going to get him another drink,
Oh,
and he
that
slid it down the bar.
and the Mandalorian got it.
Yeah, I was like,
That was
Awesome.
I love
We're
that.
good.
Like
Yeah.
catch
It's gonna be
the
great.
mug fight and the bar fight was so amazing. I love the fact that we don't have a name. We don't have any name for the Mandalorian. He's still. I don't want a name.
half man, half DeLorean.
The Mandalorian.
There was only one half man in that scene.
Well, there were 2 halves.
Yeah, 2 halves. Yeah, one inside and one out. Yeah. So the one thing that I had to settle into was hearing his voice.
Yeah.
Is it just not? I don't think, and I know we heard it in the trailer, but I just wasn't prepared to have that character have a voice But the
I kinda
actor's,
was, but-
the actor's good.
The actor's good. I think he does a really good job because they do a really good job with the robot effect because it's coming out of the speaker of the helmet. So they do a really good job of
But it
doing
still
that
has
kind
that
of
human tone.
It's still got the human tone. He emotes really well,
Yeah.
both body motion and with the very few words that he has.
He goes to the
Pedro Pascal is the actor.
You want to know what's really
Yeah.
funny is I was watching it and I was thinking, okay, he went to the Michael Myers school of emoting because when he needs to turn his head, he just tilts his head sideways, which is what Michael Myers always did.
Yeah.
He tilts his head. Oh, I'm curious, but for real though, he's his body language, everything, it just says badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask one question though?
Just one.
So, okay, well, I'm asking the group here.
Yes.
When he says I can bring you in cold or I can bring you in warm, was he referring to dead or alive or carbonite freezing or not?
I think he was
dead or alive.
I think he was purposefully.
Because I like that being.
I think it
it was
at
purposely
that
vague,
point,
to be honest
I think
with
it
you.
was dead or alive because he didn't have access to the carbon freezing at that point.
So
It was on a ship.
I did some of the kind of pedantic Star Wars lore stuff that it has come out of this is some people talking about. I was like, how does he have actually the ship based carbon freezing? Because that's supposed to be. It was a big deal that they did.
It was a huge deal, yeah.
Empire Strikes Back.
I thought it happened awfully quick.
Well, we also don't know.
How many years in between Empire and Return of the
See,
Jedi?
that was my argument. My argument was
That
like
and
one.
we don't know. We know it's post the Empire falling, but we don't know how
Exactly.
We
long.
still don't know where it places.
So-
Well, a couple things. One, we don't know. Maybe the carbon freezing has improved to where it is safer
Yeah.
and doesn't require the big machinery.
Maybe
that
that
they use in
particular,
Empire.
yeah,
or
maybe
two,
that particular one. That's how it operates.
or two. I mean, maybe it actually doesn't require that big of a procedure, but it's still dangerous. But he's a big enough badass dick that he doesn't
He's
care
just
how
like, I don't
dangerous
care,
it is.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
do
dead
it.
or alive, I'm going to do it. I think a line of dialogue could have solved that with like Carl Weathers going, it's like it's a good thing we improved this carbonite freezing or something like,
Boy, that would've
dude,
been
I
on the
can't.
nose.
It would have been very on the nose, but I think something like, and they can still do that later in the show.
And
don't
I
think
almost
they-
feel like, I mean,
but it was still cool.
that's a type of rivet counting that I will only invest in as a negative if I didn't like the show already.
I'm the
It's
same
so
way.
good already.
That's like my Dark Knight Rises discussion pre-show.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
We had
exactly.
a lot of
because
pre-show
because I
discussions.
didn't have a care about it during the show. It was only somebody brought that up in discussions. Like, you know what,
Yeah.
you're right, but I don't care because this
Also,
was a
one
good
of the
show.
carbonite freezing slates to me looked like Neil deGrasse Tyson.
That was
That's hilarious.
So I do have another question.
yeah.
See,
I
I
lied.
see.
Does this make the Star Wars Holiday Special canon?
Yeah, because they
Yes,
said
it
Life
does.
Day.
It sure does.
They mentioned
Tell me-
Life Day.
Yeah.
I don't think anything decanonized as much as Lucas wanted it to be in the Star Wars Holiday Special. So Life Day exists. So yeah, I mean it makes sense. Boba Fett's
They made it
Boba Fett's
happen in this show,
Yeah.
and it worked.
Yeah,
and
sure
I'm like,
did.
oh my
I mean,
god.
the one thing the holiday special did was introduce Boba Fett to the franchise. So the Mandalorian further canonizing is just where it belongs.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I was telling this to Zach. Is Mike, who hasn't been on the show in a while, his opinion in this whole thing is hilarious. I don't know if he's watched this show
I would
yet.
love his opinion.
I've got to find out from
he
him if
is
he did.
the Star Wars.
He is
fan of the
the
group.
Star Wars fanboy.
I
But
miss you, Mike.
yeah, but what always makes me laugh is before this show when people would like talk about Boba Fett books and it would be awesome if Boba Fett had his own show. People have been talking about it for years. Mike's response is always, "Who cares about Boba Fett?" Obviously, he's not the badass you think he is because he went out like a
Like a chump.
a chump. Yeah. So I'm looking at the show now, and now all I can think about is, yeah, you're gonna go out like a chump. You're awesome, but you're going out like a chump. And I told Zach the last season of this show, when they're going to cancel it or whatever, I would love it if they would do a Rogue One style enhancement to the story that answers that question. Because Rogue One fixed one particularly big hole in Star Wars. So maybe they could have a reason why he goes out like a chump in the series.
Like
somehow.
what Boba Fett was doing before he got to Jabba's place. Like,
Yeah.
Maybe he was like super sick or injured.
I
or
said that to
something.
Zach. I said maybe he's got a
I don't
bad
know,
sinus
he'd
day.
be
His
able to fight better
equilibrium's
without
off.
the helmet.
Right.
They did mention that.
I
But-
will say one of the things I didn't know I needed was more diving into the Mandalorian culture that we
the
started to get.
lore. Yeah.
Like this, I'm sitting here, and when he's going back to the Smith
The
shop,
Smith, yeah.
one, I made a Rambo Last Blood joke, and two, I was sitting here, I was like, I didn't know I needed this.
That
But
whole
now
bit
we
about-
need to know more.
that whole bit
Yeah.
about has the signet revealed itself to you? It's like, no, not yet. It will soon. It's like, the
What's the
signet?
signet?
What's the
What's
signet?
that?
I gotta know more about this.
Yeah, what's that?
What's this? And the whole
And the
like
Smith
like,
looked
it's
awesome
like this
with
would have
the
been better as a
fur.
pauldron. I'm gonna put this on your shoulder.
And how they're like, it's so glad to have this back to the tribe where it belongs. I'm just sitting here. I'm like, I need more of this culture.
This is so good. Yeah.
So we all, it appears we all really loved it. So I will throw my one negative into it that I didn't
if you
like.
say Baby Yoda, I'm gonna slap you.
No, I'm not gonna
Baby
say Baby
Yoda.
Yoda. But I love the thing that I don't like about it, because it's a consistent thing in the original Star Wars, is tone. It goes from this really dark Empire thing to a campy, silly Jedi thing, back to dark, back to silly. When they bring in the droid, all things become silly, and then back to dark.
Smishing to him.
It's inconsistent tonally.
But it, like you said, it is the
That's Star Wars,
franchise.
though.
Yeah, and I was surprised at how dark it went. Like the
Yeah.
opening bit of this thing
Was
is
really
pretty
dark.
extreme. It's like this is on Disney's family streaming service,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the Star Wars franchise, and it opens with the
I was all
Mandalorian.
for it. It's like
I'm
finally
all
something
for it.
different.
It's great. It's like Mandalorian just like cuts a guy in half and freaking bar fights the crap out of these guys. It's
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
All right.
Yeah, I was telling Nico as we were watching it, I was like, I'm glad they stuck with like those campy like transitions. With the circle going in.
You gotta have that.
They had
That's
to
not
show
Star
pure
Wars
Star
without
Wars.
that.
I know,
Yeah.
but I thought that they would cut it out because it's
It would be odd
TV.
without it.
It wouldn't feel as Star Warsy without it.
And I think-
I get what you're saying. And I almost expected them to not
I
have it.
expected them not to have those.
And I think they did a really good job because it does have a lower production value than the movies, of course.
But
and
you know what?
still
It has
looks
more.
good.
It has more practical
Yeah,
effects than the
it does.
movies.
Yeah.
And it still looks good. Like, I could tell this is made for TV, but higher end TV. And it looks
Yeah.
really good. And
Yeah.
okay, like you said, Stephen, practical effects. It's got a lot of puppetry,
Yeah.
a lot of real sets. It's
The
got some
set
CGI.
designs and the
sets
set
are so good. It
details.
looks dirty.
Boy,
it
it
looks
feels
worn in.
dirty. Like when you're getting those shots where he's walking down like a city, and it's
Yeah.
from some like just like almost like a kid's perspective is where they put that camera. It's just around his waist, maybe a little
Yeah.
bit higher. It feels like a lived-in, real, breathing city.
Well, because we know this from experience. The way CGI works the best in a location is if you build about 25% of that location and then enhance the back of it with CG. So that the actors are really existing within their space that they're supposed to act.
You're
And
gonna
that's
get
what he
better
did.
performances
Yeah.
out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you
Honestly,
remember,
looking at it-
who was it? Liam Neeson. I saw an old thing about the prequels the other day, and
This is the tennis ball is.
he was like, "I can't
person.
believe I'm acting in front of a tennis ball." It makes a difference to have
does.
that stuff there, and it's in this show, and I just loved it.
I mean, going back to the alley scene in like the city, I turned to Nico. I was like, "We were just there." It feels like
Because we were at Disney World.
Yes.
like, it legit.
It feels.
I'm
yeah.
like-
Which is both a testament to the show and also the park.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, this show made me kind of look back on the park and go, maybe I was a little bit wrong about some of the
Set
things
design,
about
yeah.
it. Yeah. I mean, but that's great. If
Well,
you can do that.
Oh man, I would love to go back to the Star Wars park, the Edge of the Galaxy, or Galaxy's
let's go.
Edge.
The Edge of the
well,
Galaxy.
at Galaxy's Edge, and because they have suit actors and like stormtroopers and whatnot,
Yeah.
and like if they have the Mandalorian suit actor out there, that'd be cool.
That would
Because
be
I
great.
love how worn his suit is. I love
It's amazing.
It is. He has such a great like spaghetti western man with no name feel.
Yeah.
Because that's what he is. Like he doesn't. We don't have a name.
And-
He's very quiet, few words, sharpshooter.
He's a
It
Ronin.
really,
It
really speaks to. Sorry, I gotta stop pounding. But it really speaks to Pascal because there's a lot of acting with facial emotions that he has to do with just his words and his tone.
in his
And
body
he-
in his body language.
Yeah, and he pulls it off fantastically. When he's frustrated with the robot because he keeps saying he's going to self-detonate, those first couple of times you can slightly hear the agitation, but that third time where he's like, no, stop, you hear that frustration. Whereas like eyebrows and, cheeks and stern jaws, like those help get that feeling across, but he doesn't have that to rely on, and it's fantastic.
It is fantastic.
You definitely get the feeling that he is emoting in the helmet.
Yeah.
So I'm forgetting his name. The guy who he got the bounty from.
Carl Weathers.
Color
No,
Weathers.
the guy he got the real bounty from.
Werner Herzog.
Werner Herzog, that's it.
Yeah. I was
When they opened up that door and
Werner
those
Herzog.
old, dirty-looking stormtroopers
Those-
were there, I was like,
they look better than any of the stormtroopers.
I
the
love
new ones.
Werner Herzog. His voice brings a certain
was so
tone
good.
and feeling to anything he does.
Yeah, let's talk
And
about.
he's brilliant.
Let's talk about the supporting cast. Even like the one-shot
man.
cameo cast in this one. Like Werner Herzog is really great, and those
I
stormtroopers too.
swear,
Yeah.
he's going to be a regular, correct?
I think he's probably going to be reoccurring in some fashion.
Yeah, I don't imagine every episode, but I would, because he's the one who gave him the
Yeah.
bounty. He's
Yeah.
probably in 3 or 4 or whatever. Yeah. He's great. Cool to see Carl Weathers again.
Carl
He was
Weathers,
highly
in the-
entertaining.
I hope he's a regular. He was really good.
Mm-hmm.
The one shots that we probably got. Nick Nolte was in this.
Yeah,
and
it's-
a lot of prosthetics.
I didn't-
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the old guy.
You missed like a lot of the conversation we had in your presence pre-show.
I was thinking.
Yeah.
I know it's hard for you.
Wait, he was the old guy with a lot of prosthetics. Who?
Yeah.
Who was the
I
guy
have
who taught
spoken.
him how? Yeah, I have spoken. He is that guy.
No way!
That's Nick Nolte.
You did.
All right.
And it's like, all right.
Now you're playing it back, and it's like, yeah, you're right. That's
Yeah,
Nick
there's
Nolte.
no way it wasn't
Yeah.
when you hear that voice.
And then the robot, the bounty robot, that's Taika Waititi.
so
Also
we
found
all
out he directs an episode.
no. I have a very limited tolerance for Taika Waititi. So
Have you seen JoJo yet?
no, I haven't seen it
Okay.
yet. Kind of glad he ended the way he did in this episode. Just saying. Although he's a droid, he could come back that same model
All I gotta
over
say
and over
is,
again.
Happy knows how to make me happy.
Because
Yeah.
this one was directed, and the show is show ran by Jon Favreau. So.
Yeah, and Jon Favreau is a solid director. I mean,
Yeah.
he without Jon Favreau, I don't know if the MCU would be where it is because he he made a film and he's making the best Star Wars we've had. It's the original. The issue that I have, I bet you level out. I
Probably.
bet they'll find their footing and continue.
It'll level out. Actually, this one needs to be the one that feels Star Wars. This one.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Or
So transition that I like. I mean, it's John Williams.
Carl Weathers is here.
Oh, that makes sense. No, actually,
No,
I was thinking like his
that,
ending
yeah.
theme, the ending theme of the show, which I guess is maybe the character's signature theme.
That was my least favorite piece of music in the
Really? 'Cause
in
I-
the show.
I thought
I
it was-
liked it, but it was my least
my
favorite.
favorite
I
was
liked
when he was talking with the Empire.
That one felt like it had a more westerny feel.
it. Did, and it wasn't bad by any means. I thought it was fine. I liked other bits in there that were big orchestra sounding
yeah.
pieces.
No,
that
I
were,
also
feel
like-
like Star Wars.
I like the tension music, like when he's
Yeah.
talking with the Empire. Like that's when I first really
That was such a tense
focused
scene,
on
too.
the score, and I'm like,
Oh, I love
man,
this.
this music makes it.
I love
Yeah.
that whole. It's like it's 4 against 1. I like those odds.
I like those odds. And he was just not even flinching.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, he's badass. Even if he's gonna go out like a chump, he's still a badass guy.
All right, you know what?
So okay, so we all love it.
We all,
can't-
we all like it.
we're it's gonna be cool
I'm
to
in.
see Friday how it goes.
I just need to see the Mandalorian with a baby harness and little baby Yoda.
right
No,
now,
I
now-
tell you what, if I see
so
that,
this is going to become
I'm
Lone,
out.
So no. This is just going to become Lone Wolf and Cub.
exactly.
And that's also going to be
He is a
great.
Ronin already.
yeah.
I mean, okay.
I'm okay
so
with Star Wars.
so the
Lone
one
Wolf and
thing
Cub.
at the end when he reaches out his finger to touch little Yoda's finger, I'm like, is this ET? Is that what?
I thought he was more so doing the almost like a coochie coochie coo.
Well, it kind of was, but
Yeah.
it definitely feels like ET.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, ET is canon in Star Wars. Thanks
That's
to the
true.
prequels.
It is
Yeah.
thanks to the prequels. It's true. All right. So since you and I are the only ones, let's just talk about it briefly. The Jeff Goldblum show.
Oh.
Or wait, you saw it, right?
You saw part of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm out.
So the Jeff Goldblum show, it's a magazine style, really.
Yeah, it's a magazine documentary kind of style show. It's Jeff Goldblum focuses on a
Random
random
topic.
topic that's just kind of
First episode is
Interesting.
sneakers.
sneakers.
So you know what's funny about that is the minute that he revealed what the topic was going to be, I sort of checked out. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not interested in sneakers.
But
That's
then
a
you
weird
caught
first
yourself
topic.
getting into it.
But
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum is so weird.
Yeah.
He made it fun. Like I got hooked.
He's so weird and charismatic.
Yeah.
It's always fascinating to follow him around.
Mm-hmm.
And he made the history of sneakers kind of fun. And the fact that he was able to bring in the family element that he did, because he
Yeah,
talks
with
about
the uncle,
his
with
uncle was, you know, college varsity basketball, could have gone pro.
Yeah.
And then one of the things he visits is this custom sneaker maker, and he talks to the guy about his uncle. And then the custom sneakers that the guy makes for Jeff Goldblum
They're, like,
has
all
his
black.
varsity letter on the
Yeah.
top.
They're all black.
They were
with the varsity
actually-
letter on the lip.
Yeah.
the
I think
zebra
that was
print on
maybe the
inside.
kind of big like what if moment. I loved it too because he had done the unboxing with the guy who does that online, and then when he was doing his own, he kept dragging it out because
Yeah.
he said this is the best part. So if you really want to enjoy this the way it's meant to be, just stop now. Don't look at the actual shoe. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then when they showed the shoe, it wasn't nearly what I expected. It was just a black sneaker.
It wasn't a box, but it was so simple. And I think it worked really well. And it had a lot of detail for just being a straight black sneaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
If
the
you look
zebra
at it-
print on the inside.
Well, I mean, even if like you look at the material,
The different
it's
textures and
different
materials.
black
Yeah.
fabrics.
It's a statement of how entertaining Jeff Goldblum is that we're sitting here talking about sneakers. It really is.
I love the basketball. Like when
Oh, yeah.
he's playing basketball with
Yeah.
the guys in the street, and he's like, "What would my name be?" It's like, "You'd be the Fly."
Right?
Yes,
he was
he would be the Fly.
Yeah, he was cracking them up.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah, he was cracking. The one thing that disappointed me when I got interested, and it's because of our experience, is I wish he would have spent a little more time at SneakerCon. I was
That was
fascinated.
many cosplayers there.
Yeah.
that was so weird.
It was.
cool.
I
I
will
never
say-
heard of such a thing.
My favorite line in that episode, though, had nothing to do with sneakers. It's when Jeff Goldblum was getting questioned, and one of the guys was like, "Are dinosaurs real?" And the guy was like, Jeff Goldblum was like, "Is that a real question right
Well,
now?"
and you could tell he wanted to lose it for a second. He's like, "Let me just be nice."
Yeah, he's like, "People who believe that, let me put this nicely." And I'm
He's
like, "Oh,
Such a quirky dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I figured I was going to check out right away, and I watched the whole thing about sneakers.
The other thing about it is it's the perfect length. It does not. It was half an hour.
It's a
If there-
22-minute length.
Yeah, I think it actually was half an hour.
Was it a full half hour?
I think it was a full
All
half
right.
hour.
But it flew by. It
But
was-
either way, yeah, it's not an hour. So
Right.
that's the main thing. It stays just long enough because the quirkiness could get old and you won't have anything else to hold you. So I think it's as long as it needs to be. And if all of them are pretty much like this with random topics, I think it's going to do well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I'm going to watch the next
Yeah,
one
I
because
will-
he was hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, so Zach and I, get off your phone. Zach and I actually watched the Imagineers documentary. So it's about 50 minutes.
I thought it was like 59.
You told me it was 50 minutes,
It's-
maybe.
it's-
That's what, like right at
it's
just
on
under an
our
hour.
list."
It's an
because
So-
I asked you and you said it's like 50 minutes, and I'm like, okay,
I need
Debating
this
the
one on
hour
the
length
phone.
time.
right. So I was looking forward to this one,
Yeah.
and it did not disappoint.
No,
it was
great.
It goes from the very first, like when he had an idea, and it has footage of him talking about it when it was just an idea. Like the archival stuff, like was so much more than I anticipated. Behind the scenes stuff that's never been out, or things that happened like in the offices. He had all of it filmed, where they were just talking
Disney?
about yeah, what it would look like, and what he drew. It became something much different. But it's so cool that you see this evolution of. It's not just of the Imagineers because they came along later. It's the concept of the park and how he wanted to have it in one place, but they were like, no, it's going to be a carnival, and that's stupid, and we don't want that in our neighborhood. So he had to go to Anaheim, where it is now.
Yeah.
And it just...
Boy, it the way they brought up the process of everything, I'm like, this was a huge gamble. I
So
mean,
what
yeah.
is the documentary cover? Just the making of Disneyland?
part one is literally
So okay, multi-part special.
I think
Yes.
it's supposed to be multiple parts. Part one is the making of it, of the creation
Of Disneyland.
of Disneyland, the
Up
creation of the
until-
park, and then the creation of the Imagineers as a group. And he has a lot of interviews with them, old ones, like
Okay.
people that are still like really up there that are still living.
dude, the best part of the episode for me, taking like one of the designers of a ride into said ride and seeing the behind the
That
scenes
was
of that
so-
ride. Oh my god, they actually took the cameras back there.
Yeah, places where they've never
Oh
had cameras
my
before.
God.
That is, yeah.
I will
It
say
was
this
real
when I
cool.
heard that they were doing this, I knew instantly I would need to watch it because when I was little, I used to want to be an Imagineer because Disney Channel would always have like 5-10 minute specials featuring Tom Morrow, talking about the engineers and different projects and all that stuff. And I had a butthole teacher who said women won't amount to anything, and thus a year of that caused me to lose all interest in a lot of things.
Well, and you know what's really
But
funny is if you
this
when you see
documentary
this,
makes me happy.
There's a lot of women.
there was a lot of women.
Yeah, because they probably didn't have racist, sexist teachers.
Well,
in
I mean,
Tennessee.
I'm not going to say
They
it
probably
wasn't.
did, but-
It was not a very diverse culture.
It was still the 60s. and
Yeah, but
Disney,
there were plenty of females. There were
Yeah.
females, and the artist who drew and colored Cinderella was a female.
Yeah.
and she was integral to it, and she did a lot of the work that you know and love now. So it focuses on that. I don't want to talk too much because I want you to just experience it, and then it goes, of course, into his death.
Yeah.
And sort of toward the end, it kind of talks about the move to Orlando for the next one. So they're going to go forward and talk about the other parks. And
I
all
would,
that
I would
stuff.
love that one. I mean, I would actually be fascinated in the other parks like Paris or Tokyo.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I want
But-
one to focus on each park.
But
I don't
would-
know if that's what happens.
But I would be
because I don't know how many parks.
But the
there are.
Orlando one is like the
about
one
six.
I'm really fascinated on, just because of how intricate that is. Like the fact that it's essentially a city.
They start at the end. They start to talk
Yeah,
about
they
how much land they bought, and it
Yeah.
was like the size of San Francisco.
And they were
Yeah.
legit just sort of covertly buying it.
Oh yeah,
Acres at a time.
like they have enough land out there
on
to,
Main Street,
to
if you look on the windows, the names that are on the windows are all the aliases they bought the
Yeah,
land under.
and they supposedly they still have enough land out there to they could if they wanted to build all of the current parks there 4 times over.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Because one of the
ton of
things,
space over
yeah,
there.
one
Yeah.
of the things with the Disneyland park is they didn't buy any of the surrounding land, so people banking on Disney being
So where are they
a
gonna
big
go?
success, they had different companies building and buying land around them, so they couldn't expand.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things they changed when they were scouting out Disney World.
So I'm fascinated. I'm
Well,
looking
but those
forward
other companies, what's really interesting is you'll see there's one company that Disney wouldn't exist without them, and I just want you to discover it for yourself because I had no clue.
Also, I saw one of my friends from Florida actually pointed this out. One of the shots where Disney's talking about a new project being Disney World, you can see a hint of where it's going to be, like in the Orlando area, because there's a building that they call the eyesore of I-4, and there's a small picture of it in the background. Right next to the map, and she pointed that out. She was like, "Only Floridians will get this joke."
I think that building is not that old.
No, it is. It's on there because I was like, "Oh, look,
Oh,
it's
wow.
a razor."
Oh wow! So now this documentary series has been in production for a very long time now.
Well,
Apparently, it sounds like
years.
since the 60s.
Well, no. I'm talking about the documentary.
No, yeah,
Like,
I
the
gotcha,
making of
I
it.
They
gotcha.
said they
Well-
had like a mountain of footage. I'm like, yeah, it's
Well, but
documentary.
there's one easy way to tell, and I'm not going to say how, but you see somebody write their name and put a date beside it, and that date is 2013. So this thing,
that I was just about to bring up that moment.
Mm-hmm.
That is the exception when you have someone ask a question off camera.
I disagree.
No, that
I could-
moment,
I could have
that
recut that.
moment was
I could have cut that. I
boy,
could've
that
fixed
was
it.
special.
I could have fixed it.
That's why you don't work for the mouse.
Yeah, but yeah, when I saw that, I'm like 2013. Wow, they've been on this project for a while. And it's worth it. It's really good. You guys need to go home and watch it.
Absolutely
It's
outstanding.
my second favorite thing I saw so far on
Before
Disney.
we go home and watch it, we should probably talk about other things we can watch.
Yeah.
You know what we should watch? Watchmen.
Yeah,
We're,
you know
we're
what?
at an hour and a half.
I
We're at an
am,
hour and a half.
I am one episode behind.
Okay.
I am-
So you're
I am
still not
almost
caught
there.
up.
We were
I've got
more than
one
one
left.
episode behind. So.
Okay, y'all are not caught up.
Yeah.
Y'all suck. Basically, here's my summary of the show.
Forgive me for being sick.
No. Yeah,
Forgive me
I
to
know,
having
right?
other things to do.
Here's my summary of the show. I got 65 questions and I've gotten 2 answers. Please answer some questions.
Yep.
All right. So,
So, if you want to pick up a Blu-ray this week, you can get Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. That's an old movie. The previous Charlie's Angels,
The complete series.
the complete series is out. Also on a 4K.
The Good Liar is not correct.
Yeah, I was going to say, why is that listed?
Yeah, you did not list any of the movies. So we got Batman Beyond.
Batman
the
Beyond a
complete
complete,
series.
and I have it. I just did it in shorthand. Batman Beyond a complete series.
Good Boys comes out this week. Angry Birds 2, a regular and 4K. The Farewell, 47 meters down. The Big Bang series. Big Bang Theory.
Have
the
you
complete
seen?
Series.
Have you seen?
It's a big old
the
box.
packaging for Big Bang Theory, the complete series.
It is like.
It is like this long.
Yeah.
It is a giant box because they packaged them flat in a book. Well, kind of like the James Bond, except twice as big. Yeah,
And,
it's dumb. I wouldn't own that show anyway, but still.
Oh yeah, but it's getting released this week, and you just
Yeah.
list it.
You
And
should.
Aquarella, and as well, we got Chud, the Arrow release.
Honestly, the only
I'm
one
trying to
that
make a
I'm
decision on
interested
that.
in is Batman Beyond.
Yeah, Batman Beyond
Yeah.
Blu-ray. It's like a big box set, kind of like the Batman the Animated Series one
Yeah.
that came out last year, or the year before.
And I
They-
need to upgrade my Batman Beyond collection.
The only thing about the Batman Beyond like complete series is I think I'm gonna wait and see if they issue a different version. I mean, for you guys,
Cheaper
it'll be different.
version.
Well, it's not even that it's cheaper. Cheaper would
You don't
be great.
want that Funko Pop.
I don't really want the action figure. I just want a cool Blu-ray box.
Yeah,
I already have a Terry McGinnis.
Yeah, actually, we do have the
Here's the problem
Yeah.
with that. The
I
cool
even give 'em a
box is
little
going to be
Santa
in that
hat.
special edition with the Funko. You're going to get a
Like the
an edition
book
where
of-
it's like the big old Blu-ray cases, like the Christopher Nolan collection.
That's okay.
But
Okay.
I am looking forward to it because I saw some of the side by side, some of the remasters.
Yeah,
some of the
it looks
episodes
really
Yeah.
good.
Some of the episodes
Yeah.
they couldn't.
Yeah, the masters were lost, so they had the best digital copy they could find, and then basically upconverted it to 1080p.
It
But
looks
it's
really
it's
good,
only
though.
like 6 episodes, but everything else was sourced from the original 35mm negatives.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get it. I don't know. I might get suckered into it. Here's my big dilemma
I
I'm
need to check
having
out Farewell
right now
again.
is I'm gonna buy the Farewell. I will own that film because it's so good. I want to have it on
I
my
need to check it out
collection.
again before I buy it.
I'm gonna buy it so that I can loan it out because it is really good.
Don't loan
I'll
it
just
to
borrow
us
it from
until we
you.
finish house.
Exactly.
Still waiting on that.
I'm trying to kind of hold off on too many new purchases until Black Friday weekend because I'm sure there's going to be more deals that we don't know about.
According
Yeah.
to you, The Shining 4K is what, $13.99?
$13.99. Yeah, that's on my list. Yep. And
It's a good deal.
it's a good deal. It's gonna be Best Buy for $13.99 at 4K.
Boy,
That's a
they
really
better
good
have
deal.
enough copies.
That's why we're going Thursday night.
If I'm not there and you see
I
them,
will buy it for you, and you can
at
just spend it
least
on me.
pick it up. Yeah, just spend on me. There.
Yeah, I'll just get it, but you should be there. There's a. I'm sort of
I
making a list of
have
people.
Watch,
a
I'll be
moral
sick again
objection
this
to
year.
going out on Thursday night. So if you see one, let me know, and I'll also.
I also have a lethargic food coma objection.
I get your moral objection
Being someone
to it.
who worked in retail, I have a moral objection to that.
I have worked
I
in
am
retail
always
also,
polite to these
and
people.
I don't disagree with your moral objection. But what I do disagree with is Best Buy not having any more copies of The Shining Friday morning.
Yeah, which is why I don't mind other people doing it, but
But of course,
and it's not the
as-
people being rude because I worked in the bakery, but they still had us work.
Yeah.
But it was stupid.
Yeah,
There's
no,
mostly
I
the
agree with
companies that
you.
I hated.
Yeah,
but-
I don't buy for Christmas. I buy
Yeah.
for me.
I think Nico and I have talked about this, but the other situation that I'm trying to determine what I'm going to do is the whole MCU thing, because they're not there's
they're
no
not
phase
doing
3.
a phase 3. They're just doing a
Yeah.
full box.
And the thing is
$4.99.
is that what it's down to now? Because the pre-sale was $550.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
it might be.
no. I think it's. I saw that. I
Best
saw that
Buy
it go
has
down.
some very nice.
It did go down in price for like what the original MSRP is going to be.
I'm just disappointed in that.
I'm trying to.
Yeah,
I'm
it-
very disappointed.
And here's
in
the
that.
thing: I know eventually because that I will want to upgrade them to 4K, but I have the other phases.
Yeah,
you know?
but the 4K
Yeah.
box is the $4.99.
It is, I know, and if you start breaking it down by cost of disc, it's a better buy to get the $4.99 all inclusive thing. But I don't, if I had $500 to throw away on something, I've got other things I need to buy.
Yeah. Especially with
$500
Disney Plus coming out with all of the movies in
Yeah,
4K.
and the other-
it's something I can hold off on.
Well,
And you
see,
have-
I know physical
You
media,
want physical
yeah.
media, but you own.
And I
two of
agree
the
with
phases.
that because one of the issues that we've already discussed in length with Disney Plus is that buffering. Physical media doesn't buffer.
it doesn't buffer.
You don't have to have an internet
Yeah,
connection.
but here's the thing: I can't find Brink or Xenon, the Girl of the 21st Century,
Yeah.
or
But as far as like the
Impossible on
Marvel
DVD.
Cinematic
Yeah, and
Universe,
we had this discussion
Yeah.
on Facebook also because Zach was throwing that out there, and I'm like, you know why you can't? Because Disney Plus is not going to let it happen, so that you'll subscribe and they'll get more money in the long run.
I mean, I think it's
because
bull crap.
because
I'm
three.
just saying,
I would
bought
buy those
Tower
Star
of
Wars
Terror.
4Ks right now.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I bought Tower of Terror for like $3 on physical.
So what I'm
All right.
trying to decide now is to just forego the boxes altogether and just start buying the 4Ks and not even worry about the boxes.
I was thinking that too.
because I can pick those up at a used place a little as I go. And
I
just get
love
them.
the little
Case.
crotchety extras.
Yeah, the one things I will say is, and I don't know if they still have them or not, but if I was going to do that, Best Buy did have for $150 a nice bookshelf box of all the Avengers movies in Steelbook.
Yeah, that's nice.
That, if I was gonna do just forego the
All four?
and just
Okay.
in 4K, yeah. Well, I had 4K and Blu-ray both in the
Yeah.
boxes. If I was just going to get the discs and not worry about these collections, I would probably pick that box up because that's cool.
I mean, you know what else you can get?
What else can I get?
You can get some comics.
Can I get them at 4K?
From
Depends
comics.
on how good your vision is.
That's true. So I'm going to get them in 2K. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, your vision. 2K is lucky. Marvel, we have Black Cat Annual #1, Fallen Angels, which is another new X book #1, Guardians of the Galaxy #11, Morbius, the Living Vampire #1, and X-Men #2. From DC, we've got Batman's Grave #212, Event Leviathan 6 of 6. That event is ending. Flash #82, Superman 17, and Wonder Woman #82.
I know, I've seen it. He's showing me a picture of what the box looks like for the 4Ks.
Yep, he's just a rude asshole. Interrupted me in my comments.
That's true.
Wow. Other titles. We've got Black.
I was just showing something to him. He's the one that decided to speak.
And yet he's still talking. Black Hammer, Justice League #5 of 5, Family Tree #1, Folklords #1 of 5, Sea of Stars #5, and Vampirella Red Sonja #3.
Vampirella and Red Sonja. That's a good crossover.
Yeah.
So what's your pickup for the week? What are you thinking?
I will definitely get X-Men 2. X-Men 2 is probably going to be the main pickup of books that I saw this week. I got some stuff this past weekend. I went to the shop.
Oh, I didn't see a picture.
I didn't post a picture yet. But my regular shop was out of some books. I had to get them get some on back order because the X-Men series of books were selling out really crazy. They were already out of the New Mutants new book. The which X-Force was already out, and then one of the other ones I was trying to get was already out. I did get Excalibur. That one was pretty good.
Yeah.
So that one's.
No Alpha Flight though.
There's no Alpha Flight book right now,
You're
Tina.
still not getting your Canadians.
But yeah, it's going. I still have to read a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff I really like Daredevil right now is really good. I would
Which
definitely
store do you
recommend
buy
it.
from?
Comic City 2 in Madison.
That's
Tennessee.
right, Comic City 2. Yeah, because there was one particular comic book shop in our local area that was having a Black Friday sale.
Yeah.
And I marked.
So I should tell them they're a month
I'm-
too early.
Well,
They're having it on Black Friday.
they're having it on
okay.
Black Friday. But what it is they put an event up, and I marked interested because I would like to go over and just kind of see
and
what
then they spam posting it.
they spam posted it.
Yes,
Like they
I'm
posted
well
like
aware.
so many pictures a day, and I marked not going.
I'm also. I did not change my inclination on that event.
I did, because it's
this,
too much.
Lesson to people people who use Facebook to promote events. Be careful on spam posting.
Yeah.
Because you will drive people away.
I dropped it because it was filling my timeline, and I'm like,
Yeah, because if
Eagle
you,
didn't drop it for one. It's comics, and he'll probably still go. And two, that
Well,
means
I'll
he'll
probably
get
still
out
go.
putting out Christmas
I
decorations.
turn off notifications.
Yeah.
That helps.
no, I mean, because it's an event, it doesn't matter. I'll still go if I want to go. But if you're gonna put up that many pictures, put up one a day.
Yeah,
And spread your promotion out.
Exactly it. Put it
Yeah.
up one a day because we're still weeks away.
Right. But yeah, it blew up today, and I was like,
All right.
no, not doing that.
Okay.
All right, so let's wrap this thing up. Nico, where do we find you on the internet, sir?
Find me on all finer social networks, particularly Twitter and Instagram, under Nico Scream. And if you want to know more comics that came out this week, look at Culturesmash.tv.
Nice.
You can find me on Twitter at CheddarPopper, CheddarPoppr, and Instagram under Novinity Avalon.
Nice. Sir.
Oh, now I'm just Sir. I'm not even Zach.
Yeah, sir.
You can find me. I
I mean, you were knighted, so that's nice.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram. I am Master of the Matrix 91, and you can find me on Steam as a dangerous mute lunatic. I have gotten back into
Which oddly,
Dead by Daylight.
He's neither dangerous nor mute, but he is a lunatic.
That's true. 1/3 of the name is right.
We wish he was mute.
Yeah. So find me on all things Culture Smash. Also on Instagram, you can find me at OTS Movie Night. I'm posting
Off the shelf.
Off the shelf movie night. Yeah. I'm posting as much as I can. I'm trying to get better about this. And I was forced into Snapchat. I'm still trying to figure that thing out.
You were like 4
Old man
years too
yells at
late in
cloud.
Snapchat.
Well, I didn't find a need for it, but now some
Now
people
you have
Have you
Facts.
have you sent
illicit pictures.
I have not.
That
You're
is
not
the-
using Snapchat correctly.
Have you sent illicit pictures?
That's not important. What's important is
Have you sent illicit pictures over Snapchat?
No, I have not. and I
Okay,
will gladly tell the truth on
So
that
I
one.
think you are the one who's improperly using.
I mean, I could have been using Snapchat improperly, but I just wasn't. And that's all that we need to go on that topic. So otherwise, we'll see everybody next week.
We'll see you next week.